Okay, another small update for those of you with the 4-voice expansion. As I've noted in several of the other updates, the very least you're going to want to do when you install your expansion, if you haven't already, is to calibrate the filter initial tune and scale for each voice. The reason I keep mentioning this over and over again is, number one, it's fairly arbitrary. So depending on how many voices you have in your system and how many times it's been recalibrated or who has calibrated it, it could be calibrated in a very wide range. However, even more important, when you add more voices to your system, so let's say you have a 4-voice and you've just updated or upgraded to 8, the actual filter cutoff initial tune is going to be skewed when you add voices. This is because the filter common sum, so the filter common CV sum that's sent to each voice, it actually offsets the filter's initial tune when you add voices. So for example, if you have a 4-voice OB-X, as soon as I add 4 more voices and plug in the connectors, the filter is going to be skewed. It's going to drop in frequency 1 or 2 octaves, just by the way the system is designed. Okay, so right away you plug your unit in. You may want to calibrate the original bottom 4 voices to match the new 4 voices, or you may just want to go ahead from the start and calibrate them all to your liking. So the other video, the calibration video that's on YouTube now as well, is a really good overview on setting the filter calibration. Everything there is correct and well described. However, I misspoke once when I suggested that we like to tune the filter with no modulation sources active. We like to tune the 5-volt range of the frequency knob from 100 Hz to 3.2 kHz. That's generally actually not where the OB-X was in the factory. It generally is in the range of 50 Hz to 1.6 K. Okay? And with that setting, you can get a nice low filter cutoff when you're adding a lot of modulation, so you can get those OB-XA style filter rises. Okay, so the calibration video is correct as far as the frequency it describes to set the tunings to, but I just misspoke regarding what the actual range of the filter cutoff knob will be once it is calibrated. So you want to shoot for 50 Hz to 1.6 kHz with no envelope modulation and no LFO modulation, and that will get you in the correct range. And when you have an 8-voice OB-X, when you're in this range, you'll find that your T9 trimmers for the initial frequency are actually going to be fairly far clockwise. Now, the filter frequency, initial frequency adjustment has a very wide range. The reason this is actually exactly as I mentioned a few moments ago. As you add voices, you're actually skewing your initial tune. So say you had a 4-voice OB-X and you upgraded to 6, you're going to have a pretty significant adjustment on all your trimmers. And then say you upgraded to 8 or from 4 to 8, you're going to have a pretty good adjustment to make. So, with all that being said, all I'm suggesting is, at the very least, is to check and, if needed, calibrate the filter initial frequency and scale for all your voices. Okay? Bye now.